There are a ton of financial rules that nobody tells you about until it's too late. But worry not, this video is your survival guide. They're covering 9 personal finance tips that every expat in Germany needs to know to avoid hidden traps, save money, and actually thrive financially. Let's break it all down. One myth, one rule, one surprise at a time. And trust me, number 7 is going to make you yell, "What?" By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Ehsan. I'm a researcher who came to Germany in 2015 as a student. I've been through it all, and now I help people like you avoid the mistakes that I have made over the past 10 years. The Schufa score rules your financial life. Okay, imagine a credit score so powerful it decides whether you get an apartment, a phone contract, or even a gym membership. That's Schufa. In Germany, Schufa is everything. It's your financial resume. You start with a blank slate. No score, no record. And that can be a problem. Landlords might not trust you. Phone companies might reject you. Even some internet providers might hesitate. So how do you start building your Schufa? Step 1. Open a German bank account. Use it for all your transactions. Rent, bills, salary, etc. Every time you use it responsibly, your financial credibility builds. Miss even one payment, yeah, it sticks. And getting it off your record is trying to get gum off your shoes. It's no fun. I'll share one great bank account later in this video, but in your credit building journey, do not take out unnecessary loans and always check your Schufa annually. You're entitled to one free report per year. I'll put a link to that below the like button. Cash is king, but cards are catching up. If you're coming from the US or the UK, you're probably used to swiping or tapping your way through life. But in Germany, cash still rules. You'll find places, yes, even in 2025, that still don't take your Visa or MasterCard. You pull out your shiny credit card at a bakery, the cashier might just shake their head and point you to the nearest ATM. Instead, Germany loves the Giro card. Basically, it's a local debit card. It's accepted at most places, and finally, contactless payments are becoming more common. But always carry a bit of bargeld cash because many businesses still do not accept anything other than cash payments. It's not old school, it's just Germany. But thankfully, the new German government is planning to make it obligatory for businesses to accept electronic payment methods in addition to cash. The German wants to curb tax evasion. We don't want to handle dozens of 1-cent coins. As I see it, it's a win-win situation. Credit cards don't work the way you think they do. Let's get one thing straight. Most German credit cards are not really credit in the way you might be used to. Here's how it works. With most credit cards, you spend throughout the month, and then, like clockwork, the full amount gets deducted from your bank account automatically. No minimum payment, no rolling balance. You either have the money or you don't. This can be great for staying debt-free, but also confusing. If you're not careful, you could overdraft your account without even realizing it. So most people in Germany just use their debit card or treat their German credit card like a delayed debit card. But there are actual credit cards available in Germany with partial payment options. The credit limit for these is based on your Schufa score. For most beginners, their credit limit is around a few €100. When I got my first credit card in Germany, my credit limit was just €100, which is nothing. But with time, this limit increased. Right now, with one of my credit cards, I have a maximum credit limit of €7,000. Your mileage may vary. That's why you should look into getting a free credit card as soon as you come to Germany. You don't have to use it regularly, but using it once or twice a year could increase your credit limit so that you have access to it when you need it. I'll put a link to my favorite credit card in the description below. You need a German bank account for everything. This one's a biggie. Without a German IBAN number, you cannot get paid, can't pay rent, and forget about utilities or the internet. The good news, opening a bank account in Germany is actually super easy these days. Digital banks like N26 are made for people like us. Expats, newcomers, anyone who hates paperwork. You can open an account from your phone in English, often in just a few minutes. And the best part, N26 is sponsoring this segment of the video. Now, N26 just launched something really cool, the N26 SIM, where you can get mobile data directly through your N26 app. No need for a plastic SIM card. It's 100% digital with eSIM technology. You pick a plan, small, medium, or large, depending on how much data you need. And it's all flexible month to month. No long-term contract headaches. And because it runs on the Vodafone 5G network, you get fast, reliable internet almost anywhere in Germany. What I personally love is how everything is handled inside one app. You can literally manage your banking, savings, investments, and now your mobile plan, all without juggling different apps or forgetting passwords. It's a real time saver, especially when you're setting up life in a new country. Plus, compared to old school prepaid SIM cards from supermarkets, N26 gives you more flexibility without locking you into crazy 2-year contracts. You can cancel anytime if your plans change, which, let's be real, they usually do when you're living abroad. And here's the cherry on top. If you ever need support, you're not bouncing between two different companies. N26 handles both banking and SIM issues with one customer service team. One app, one login, everything you need. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to check it out. Your taxes are auto-deducted, but that doesn't mean you're done. You get your paycheck. Taxes are already taken out. Done, right? Nope. If you moved mid-year, paid for relocation, supported family abroad, or had unusual expenses, you might be owed money back. A lot of expats leave hundreds or even thousands of euros on the table just because they never file a tax return. The best part, filing isn't that hard anymore. Tools like TaxFix or WunderTax guide you step by step in English. And if you want to go all in, get a Steuerberater, a tax advisor. Yeah, it costs more, but they'll squeeze every euro out of your tax return. Don't let Germany keep your money. File that return. Now remember, you are either obliged to file a tax return or you can file a voluntary tax return. One of the main conditions to figure it out is your tax class. That's why it is important to know your tax class. Seriously, Germany has not one, not two, but 6 tax classes. And which one you're in can drastically change your take-home pay. If you're single, married, have kids, or even if your partner earns more or less than you, it does matter. The wrong tax class could mean losing hundreds of euros every month. Let's say you're married. You and your partner can actually switch tax classes to save money, depending on your income split. That's not a trick, it's legal and smart. For unmarried and singles without children, tax class 1 is usually the only option. But if you're married and your spouse does not work, then changing to the tax class combination 3-5 as soon as possible is a must. This way, you get more money in your pocket each month rather than getting a tax return next year. So ask your HR department, or better yet, a tax advisor to review your tax class. A simple form to the tax office is enough to change your tax class to the appropriate one. Please hit the like button if you're getting value from this video and consider subscribing. The TV tax is real and yes, you have to pay it. No, this isn't a prank. Every household in Germany pays a TV and radio tax. Even if you don't own a TV, a radio, or even just stream everything on Netflix. It's called the Rundfunkbeitrag and it costs about 18 euros per month per flat, not per person. So whether you're living alone, sharing with roommates, or even if the TV is just gathering dust in the corner, the bill still shows up. A lot of newcomers think, oh, I don't use it, I shouldn't have to pay, and just toss the letter aside. Big mistake. Ignore it and you will start getting very formal, very unfriendly letters. Keep ignoring it and they can eventually send debt collectors after you. Yep, it's that serious. Even if you're living in a temporary rental like a furnished apartment, you still have to pay. Unless the landlord can prove that they are already paying it. Spoiler, they usually aren't. If you're living with roommates, the good news is you can split the cost. One household, one payment. You usually get the first letter a few weeks after registering your address, your Anmeldung. It'll ask you to either register and start paying or to tell them who's already paying at your address. Either way, you can't just pretend you didn't see it. The system already knows you moved in. Germany doesn't play around with bureaucracy. I know it's frustrating, so think of it like a weird monthly donation that keeps Germany's most iconic crime drama Tatort running. And trust me, once you get your first official German letter with lots of angry bold text and deadlines, you'll realize 18 euros isn't such a big deal after all. The pension system is solid, but only if you stay. Germany's public pension system is quite decent if you're planning to stay long term. Part of your salary automatically goes into it. If you stay for 5 years or more, you're eligible for pension benefits later in life, depending on where you go and your nationality. But if you leave early, you might be able to get a partial refund, depending on where you're from. Some countries have agreements with Germany that lets you transfer pension credits. So before you pack up and move again, check if your country has a social security agreement with Germany. It could mean a big difference when you retire. I have a detailed video on the topic, again link below the like button. Investing works, but it's not flashy. If you're thinking about jumping into stocks, crypto, or trading apps, pump the brakes. Germany doesn't have a big culture of day trading. Most locals invest using long-term tools like ETFs, investment funds, or robo-advisors. Platforms like Trade Republic and Scalable Capital are popular, and yes, they are available in English. Now, Germany taxes both capital gains and dividends. So if you're making money, Uncle Finance arm wants his share. That's not a deal breaker because many German apps handle most of the taxes automatically if you set them up properly. Now, understanding Germany's financial system isn't just about avoiding mistakes, it's about unlocking freedom. The moment you stop worrying about your account balance, your tax class, or if your card will work at the bakery, that's when you really start living here. Because when your money is sorted, you can focus on what actually matters, building a life you love. Make sure to sign up with N26 to get an amazing banking experience, and their latest eSIM offer can also reduce some unnecessary headaches. In this video, I share how to get started with investing in Germany, and here I talk about topics that every expat in Germany should know. So thanks for watching, bleib gesund, and I'll see you in one of these videos.